Hello, everyone, and welcome to Around South Jersey. Looks like we're at Ranch Hope today, but we brought Ranch Hope with us. We brought Dave Baily Jr. with us. Dave, good to see you. How are you?
Jim, always great to be with you. Thanks for the invitation to be over here today. It's
My
great
pleasure.
To be here.
I'll tell you what, I was trying to sum up your father. He's as godly of a man that I think any of us ever know, and we love listening to his radio program. And how many years has Dad done the radio?
He's on his 66th year of having a daily radio program, podcast, as we refer to it now. But over 66 years of daily, thousands of programs that he has put out there. It's been a great run.
Yeah, he's just, I love listening to him. He's better than Joel Osteen in my book. You know, I just enjoy his message, and he's just done such a fabulous job. I see he's going to be speaking at Petersburg Methodist Church. Is that coming up?
Yeah, he still is on the speaking trail. He's an evangelist at various events throughout South Jersey and beyond. He's actually visiting family in Florida today as we speak. So we got him on the flight down there with Mom to see some family, and then a little R&R, and he'll be back. But you know, to your point, in driving over here today, I was listening to the radio, and an entertainer had passed away, and his son was saying, you know, many times in life, Jim, we say you don't want to meet your hero because they won't live up to the expectation. Well, I get to hang out with my hero every day, and he meets that expectation.
He sure does.
Each and every day.
What a special person, you know. And I'm sure his son, being you, is pretty special too, because you're coming from good family. Tell me a little bit about your mom.
She's fantastic. You know, we say that Dad is the entertainer, and he's the guy that always says yes to everything, never says no. Where Mom really is the glue. She's really, and I'll tell you another interesting story about her in a moment. But Mom came from a family of 13.
Well, my grandmother came from one of 13 also.
Yeah.
She must have been Catholic.
She was, yeah. She converted. She was actually still Catholic when my dad went into the pastorate, and then converted shortly after that. Good Scottish family.
Okay.
Her brothers and sisters came right over from Scotland.
Wow.
Into Ellis Island, and then she came along a little later. But good family, raised in Upper New York, and then Bayonne, and then they were Boilermakers. So they made their way down here to South Jersey.
Oh, that's neat.
To Pensgrove.
Okay.
And it was really my mom and dad's senior year at Rehigh. Those of us that are from Salem County know what I mean when I say Rehigh, but Pensgrove High School.
Oh, okay.
They met there their senior year and fell in love. But it was years later, and I appreciate you bringing up Mom, because so many times we always focus on Dad's leadership.
Yeah, well, Dad's a superstar.
Yeah, absolutely. But when I was in my right around 5 years of age, in the early 70s, Mom went back to school with another 3 ladies from that were part of Aldine Methodist Church.
Oh, sure.
In the outskirts of Alloway, New Jersey.
Yes, I know Aldine.
And they all went back to school to become nurses.
Oh, wow.
They attended Cumberland County College.
Sure.
They became RNs. And if it weren't for Mom going back to work and becoming an RN and working at Salem Memorial Hospital at the time, that's really what supported us as a family.
Yeah,
and kept the mission of Ranch Hope going.
Good point, because she probably got medical benefits as a nurse too, right?
Absolutely.
Which your dad doesn't have, and so, being in the ministry. And,
it was about 3 or 4 Thanksgivings ago that she actually told that story when she was talking about what she was thankful for.
Yeah.
And really, that played just an integral part and role in the mission of Ranch Hope continuing and supporting us as a family and allowing Dad to be Dad and do his thing. So what a tremendous, strong and talented woman that really helped support us.
Now tell me about do you have brothers and sisters?
I do. So I'm the baby. Some would say I was the accident, but Mom and Dad all say that. Not necessarily true. 2 older sisters. My oldest sister, Leanne, was born with multiple birth defects.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And had spina bifida.
Ooh.
And she went home to be with the Lord when she was 10 years of age.
Oh, God bless
And I was a little young guy then.
Wow.
But I had a great personality, attended public school, and bright, smart as a whip, really.
Well, she was a Baily.
She was a Baily.
Yeah,
she was a Baily.
Wonderful.
My sister Liz came on a year later, just another tremendously talented individual who chose the education field.
Oh, that's good.
And started her career at Absegami High School down in Atlantic County.
Sure. Know that well.
Then went over to Brigantine and spent most of her career as a middle school English teacher at Brigantine Middle School down there. I snuck in one day when she didn't know I was coming, and I sat outside her classroom. And just a tremendous blessing to see one of your siblings in action when you don't normally get to see them in their career. And just to see how she was right in there with the kids and had their full attention and was really in her zone as a teacher. She retired a few years ago, and she joined our team at Ranch Hope part-time.
That's great.
And is working in development and fundraising and grant writing. As is our policy and procedure at the ranch. She can't report to a Baily. She has to report to other supervisors. But she's just a great member of the team, and it's just a joy to now have her as part of the mission as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. So what's her name?
Her name is Liz.
Liz, okay.
Yeah, Elizabeth. And so Liz now lives in the Woodstown area, so I get to call her a neighbor as well.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
And so it's been exciting to have her on the team. My own team at home. My wife Julie and I met actually on the beach in Ocean City.
Oh, that's one of my favorite places.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful place.
We met, if you're familiar with Ocean City, there's between 4th and 5th Street, Brighton Beach is right there by the high school.
Yes, right.
And so our sisters worked together at the shore, and they got us together. They played matchmaker.
Oh, that's nice.
And they realized that both of us were attending Penn State University.
Oh, wow.
So they put two and two together, and they played matchmaker. And we started to date at Penn State, met in Ocean City, started to date, and next February we will celebrate our 30th anniversary together.
Congratulations.
We were married in Ocean City.
Oh, that's
at
neat.
St. Francis Cabrini, right down there on 2nd Street.
Yeah. Wow.
Great parish there. And so we've got three lovely children, fantastically talented, great kids. They've got a great mix of Baily in them from a personality standpoint. As well as McFadden ingenuity and smarts. So our oldest daughter, Jillian, is in marketing, and she works in Manhattan.
Oh, wow!
In the healthcare industry, marketing healthcare, and so she's a Temple University grad. So
that's
proudly,
great.
she chose Temple, not Penn State. Our middle guy, Colin, did choose Penn State.
That's
and
good.
he graduated last spring, and he's in finance, and he works in Center City, Philadelphia.
Oh, that's good.
Right by Constitution Hall. And then our youngest, Katie, just finished her sophomore year. She's a psychology major. She kind of went in the direction of Dad and I, and she's at Temple University as well.
Oh, that's super.
She's a proud Temple person. So that's the Baily team right now.
Wow,
and,
that's great.
I'm appreciative of their support and their love, and they're just a joy to me and a joy to Julie.
Well, what a wonderful family. I mean, you've been blessed with your mom and your dad. Of course, everybody knows your dad, one of the most famous people in South Jersey for sure, if not all over the Delaware Valley because of the radio programming, and a very, very special person. Now, I guess Dad was the one that came up with the idea of Ranch Hope.
It's an interesting story. So he, a young guy being raised in Penns Grove, New Jersey in the 30s and 40s, big country western and western fan of going to the movies, 10-cent movies, and seeing the big screen.
Did you go to Cowtown too?
Cowtown hadn't come along yet.
Yeah.
Hadn't come along yet. That's a whole other relationship. And our love of the Harris family and our relationship with the Harris family is, again, great soul-of-the-earth people who have been tremendous supporters. But Dad sees the movie about Boys Town.
Oh, okay.
And sees it on the big screen and thinks the story of Father Flanagan and the impact there. And of course, being raised in a blue collar family in Penns Grove, 3 older brothers who went off to fight in World War II, and a dad who worked for DuPont. Again, salt of the earth people and hardworking people. But he also saw the struggles that kids had and the different situations that would come along in families and the dysfunction in families.
Yeah.
Then goes on to become a young Methodist pastor. And Big Brothers and Big Sisters hadn't come along yet. And again, just a tremendous organization there as well. And so he became kind of a big brother in the town.
He sure did.
And started to kind of get led of God to go in that direction. And back in the late 50s, Jim, weren't a lot of options for kids, especially in the area of clinically or mental health, and we didn't even talk about those kind of things.
Good point.
If you were off course or you were making some bad decisions or got involved with the police, you were sent off to detention centers.
Boy, that's true. That's right. The juvenile detention. Thank God they're not anywhere near as prevalent and packed with people as they were back.
Correct.
Unfortunately, then that's where the kids had to go.
Yeah. So started to talk about that and started to talk about in the community and with Lions clubs and different groups. What do we do about this? Rotary, how can we affect this? And really a line was drawn in the sand after one Kiwanis Club engagement where he was speaking. A person came up to him and said, "That's all well and good, Reverend Baily, but what are you actually doing about it?"
I see.
And he felt like, okay, we got to do something about this. And so he started to reach out to the local family court systems and DIFUS at the time, which wasn't even DIFUS, and kind of say, what do we do about this? Talk to some friends and local young pastors that he knew and local people who he knew that were in business from the pastorate, and said, I need some support here. And so he found some land.
Is that where you were?
In Alloway Township.
Okay.
That was up for sale. It was a horse farm.
Oh.
You couldn't grow anything. Anybody that's familiar with Alloway Township and Salem County and Worcesterburg glass, there's a lot of clay, a lot of sand.
That's
not
right,
always that easy to grow things in that neck of the woods. But we decided that we're going to start to try to grow kids and impact their lives. So a local dairy farmer by the name of Hiram Strang stepped forward with the seed money. He and his wife Florence.
That's nice.
And that's why if you come onto our beautiful campus today, you'll see that our school is named Strang School.
Oh, that's nice.
After Hiram and Florence Strang. The legacy continues. Their grandson, Leon, is on our board of directors.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And so we still have a lot of impact. And there are others, legacy members of our board, whose family are involved as well.
Did you know, and your dad know, the Wenzel family?
Absolutely. Well, Paul was a future builder in Alloway
right.
Township.
Oh,
We knew Bill and Paul, and he was very involved and actually helped build Mom and Dad's home.
Oh, no kidding.
That they've now been in for 50 years back in the day. So, yeah, we know.
My father used to haul sand, and I used to go with him to Alloway to the Wenzels. And it's funny, I still remember going across the street. I guess they had a hardware store or lumber, whatever it was.
Did.
And they had the old-fashioned Coke bottle machine that you lifted. And I remember as a kid that was exciting for me to get my Coke and a candy bar or whatever. But, it's funny in Alloway how it's there as a kid. I was maybe 15, 14, riding with Dad in the truck. But then later in my life, I became a speech therapist, and I worked in Alloway Township schools. So Alloway became a part. And again, and I know, you don't find better people than you're going to find in Alloway.
That's right.
It's just a phenomenal community. It truly is. And putting the icing on the cake is Ranch Hope is right there. So it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, it's really been an interesting run for us. Now 59 years as a part of the community.
Wow.
Are there ups and downs to that when you're working with the youth that we work with? Yeah. Certainly, there are certainly people in the community that aren't always Ranch Hope fans.
Yeah.
But the vast majority, we get great support, tremendous leadership in Alloway, and the McKelvey family, and the various folks that are involved in Alloway Township. Again, born and raised in Alloway, graduated from Alloway Township schools. Just rich memories of playing Little League in Alloway and Teen League baseball and flag football at the time that we had in Alloway Township. On a sidebar, my sister Liz and I, that I referred to earlier, about 3 or 4 years ago, we started a scholarship for 8th grade graduates in Alloway Township. There are a lot of great scholarships throughout the township of people that are supporting the students in Alloway Township. We're one of them, but we give one to one female graduate in honor of my mom, and one for one male graduate in honor of my dad. And it really focuses on students that are involved in the community, that maybe are Eagle Scouts or have got involved with their local church, but are giving back in some way.
Right.
And then the school district makes the decision on what child will receive that scholarship. But really excited, in a few weeks I'll be going. I believe it's June 13th, Tuesday, June 13th,
for
their graduation, and always a thrill for my sister and I to go and give out that
Now, where do the
scholarship.
Alloway kids go to high school?
So Alloy kids, they have two choices. They can go. The sending district is Woodstown High School.
Oh, it's a great high school.
Which is a regional high school.
Yeah.
Many people forget that Woodstown is a regional sending district. So kids from Alloway, kids from Oldman's Township, attend Woodstown High. Upper Pittsgrove.
Well, that's a funny one. I did speech in Upper Pittsgrove, and the two schools were identical. I'm like,
Aren't they?
I'm like, wait a minute. I go to the one school for the morning, the afternoon, and they were really classical or classy type schools to do. But again, the kids were great. I mean, it's just wonderful families, that I've dealt with in Alloway and in Upper Pittsgrove as well. So yeah, that is funny. But so those kids, and Woodstown's such a great high school. It really is. Great place.
Years later, Julie and I would move and build our home in Woodstown.
Yeah.
Right in the borough, and that was a point of decision making between the two of us. Do we live in the suburbs and bus in, or do we try to find a home right downtown? And of course, growing up in Alloway, I was used to having some space.
Yeah, that's true.
But what a great decision that was, and I have to give Julie all the credit for that, because then our home became the hub for kids that would come after school and stay at our home. We always had a house full of kids waiting for practice or play practice, or that were involved in drama. Our kids were involved in a wide variety of activities or sports, and so it also allowed you as a parent to keep your eye on everybody and know what was happening in your home. For the most part, I think we did a pretty good job with that. But we've lived there 22 years now.
Oh,
it's just
great. What a great town.
Still being able to work in Alloway and have friends in Alloway and experience that.
Yeah.
Drive past Bud's Market every day in the morning and be involved with the Alloway Halloween Parade.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And, you know what's impressive with Alloway is they actually have a self-contained sewer system. That's amazing to be able to do that, because I know Fortescue, they've been working years to try it, and they're close to getting their own sewer system put in, because it increases the value of your property, and it takes $30,000 for septic systems anymore. It's not cheap. So I was impressed to see that they have their own system or whatever they do.
I'm impressed that you're up to speed on that, Jim. So obviously here in South Jersey, while we love our rural nature of our communities, one of the major infrastructure issues is when we is being able to take care of our sanitary water issues and things along those lines. And what a blessing that was to Ranch Hope. So you can imagine,
that's true. Gosh,
we're our own little community. And
yeah.
you have these treatment homes for kids that are now 40, 45 years of age, and the septic beds are starting to
not the kids, the homes are. Gotcha.
To starting to get on their last legs. And so basically the township is coming to us and saying, I don't know what our options are here. You've got the state of New Jersey coming to us saying, we love what you do, but you've got to build new treatment homes because we're changing the model of how kids are in living environments. And so we were caught between a rock and a hard place about 20 years ago. And so in my leadership capacity within the organization, I've got to try to figure this out. What are we going to do? And at times, it was very frustrating. And you're going, come on, Lord, we got to figure this out. Our time is of the essence here. But timing is always perfect, and the Lord knew what the perfect plan was, and the perfect plan was that there was going to be collaboration taking place behind the scenes, and so ultimately wastewater treatment takes place in our county seat of Salem City in Salem County.
Gotcha. Right.
But then you've got these rural communities, Quinton Township being one of them, Alloway Township being another, two great little villages
they are.
Of great historic value, going all the way back to Revolutionary War times. But they had this tremendous need. And so they came up with a plan with working with county government and working with grant writers.
You know Ben Laurie?
Oh, Ben Laurie's a great friend,
a
longtime friend. The Laurie family and the Baily families go back generations.
Wow. Great guy.
Absolutely, and a great leader.
Yes,
in
he's the
Salem
county commission director for Salem County.
Absolutely.
I've worked with him when I was in the Cumberland County freeholder board or county commissioner.
Yeah, as you would have.
Yeah.
And so they stepped forward, and they made Ranch Hope a part of that plan.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So we were able to connect, create our own wastewater, sanitary sewage underground system, and attach all of our buildings, our entire campus.
Oh, that's fabulous.
It helped Alloway Township lower their costs.
Yeah.
Because we were considered our own little development.
Right.
That then came in. It helped lower the costs for everybody involved. And so we then pump our wastewater to Alloway. Alloway then pumps it to Quinton. And Quinton pumps it into Salem.
Okay,
into Salem
so
City.
it's right.
So, and that allowed us to then, about 6 years ago, to put together a capital campaign, build all new treatment homes for our kids, increase the efficiency and the effectiveness and the ability for us to create a new model of individual rooms for the kids that we serve.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And it just was a tremendous blessing.
We're
talking together.
We're talking with Dave Baily Jr. about the wonderful Ranch Hope for Boys, and we're going to continue that right after we take time out for these messages.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community. Local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
In South Jersey, we do things our own way. We say things out loud, face things head on, and never back down. And that's how we fight cancer. With the most advanced diagnostics, leading-edge technology, and a team of doctors who know how to treat your cancer. And most importantly, we do it right here at the Frank and Edith Scarpa Cancer Center, Vineland, and the Leading Edge Cancer Center, Mullica Hill.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Imagine living without pain. For over 35 years, Doctors Beatty and Doyle have helped thousands of people find relief from all types of pain. Millville Chiropractic Center has 4 doctors on staff specializing in hands-on or light-touch, drug-free pain relief methods. The examination, x-rays, therapies, and adjustments are all performed at one location. Schedule a consultation today. Enjoy life without pain and discomfort. Millville Chiropractic Center, the area's #1 pain relief center.
I'm Brian Lankin, 3rd generation business owner, Al Shoes. Been at the same location since 1961, our 61st year. We specialize in work boots, work shoes, orthopedic shoes, baby walking shoes, and school shoes. We go up to a men's 17 and a woman's 13. It's $5 off 25 and 10 off 100 if you mention that you've seen this.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. My special guest is Dave Baily Jr. with Ranch Hope for Boys, and you are the CEO of Ranch Hope.
I am.
I
Yes,
did
I
see
am.
that, which is wonderful. And tell us a little bit more, Dave, about how you get your boys that are there, how many you have, and what do they do? What ages do you run from, as far as the kids from school age up to 21? Or
Absolutely. Great question, Jim. So first and foremost, Ranch Hope provides a wide variety, a wide spectrum of services. So on the front end, we provide shelter services, which is a regional shelter located in Gloucester County, and that serves children and families from throughout South Jersey. So children that may be involved with the family court system, or that maybe have some domestic issues or some minor juvenile justice issues, and just need a short respite of time, a way to kind of take a breath, see what's happening in their lives, and see what the next step may be, up to 30 days. And so those children on the preventative side would come to our shelter program. Most of you are probably aware of and have experience with Ranch Hope's residential treatment programming, and that's at our campus in Alloway. We have up to 50 young men. It's all adolescent males that from anywhere from 12 years of age through 17 at intake that live with us in treatment homes by age group throughout the campus. It is its own community, Jim, so everything from soup to nuts. So not only are children being housed there, but we have our own specialized private special education school on campus with our own faculty.
Oh, wow.
We have our own spiritual component where we have a director of youth and adult ministries that acts pretty much like a chaplain that has weekly chapel services and various religious components throughout the week. Always important to realize, though, that all the children we serve don't come from a Christian background. We serve everybody and anybody that comes in the door. So we have children that may come from a Muslim faith or come from a Jewish faith or come with no faith at all that are trying to figure out that piece in their lives. And so it's all done through attraction. We learned, Dad taught us 59 years ago, and for every day since then, that you don't force anything upon anybody. It's all through attraction and relationship building. So if a child throughout our building our relationship together, I'll give you an example. I have lunch several days a week with a young person who's a big Pink Floyd fan.
Oh, let's see.
I was a Pink Floyd fan back in the day. Some people are like, what? And I know it's a little, Roger Waters is getting himself in a little bit of hot water right now with some of the things that he's talking about and professing. I don't follow his line of thought on many of those things. But from a musical standpoint, I have something to talk about to this young person about. We have something to relate about. And so we'll sit around lunch and we'll talk about books that we've read, or we'll talk about music that we've heard, or we'll debate different things along those lines. But it's building that relationship over lunch that then I can still share with him, and he'll say, hey, this 56-year-old guy isn't too bad. He can relate with me on certain levels. But there's something different about him. There's something also that motivates him, and that he always seems pretty even-tempered, and nothing really riles him. And Mr. Baily, why is that? Why are you that way? And I say, well, it's because of the deposits that I make in my spiritual account. And I make those deposits through reading Scripture. I make those deposits from my prayer life. I make those deposits from having other mentors in my life who can talk to me about the mistakes that they've made, or the successes that they realize, and that they give that credit to a greater being in their life. And for me, that's our Lord, and that's, for me, that's my walk with Jesus Christ. And so that's where I make those deposits in my life, and how I get through the day and pass those things on, hopefully to my own kids and to others. And so it's really through that dynamic of Ranch Hope that we've seen the many changes in thousands of kids' lives over the year. Certainly we talk about life skills training, and certainly we talk about employment training and career training, and making sure that you're doing well in math and science and English, and all those things that are going to make you also successful in your career down the road. But it's the entire person. What are all the different factors that we have to deal with in life, and the stresses and the turmoils and the struggles of life that are real for all of us. For Jim Quinn and Dave Baily, and we can testify to those things, that life is hard. And so any way that we can help a child and bring that along in their life. Then on the back end, we have an independent living program, and you and I have talked about that, because we're talking about moving that from the Alloway campus and giving kids a new experience in apartments and things down the road. But our independent living program, called the HILLS program, it's an acronym for Hope for Independent Life and Learning Skills, is the acronym there. But we serve up to 6 young men in that area as well, with job shadowing and employment training and things along those lines. But Ranch Hope is really a community. I laugh all the time when people say, well, you're in that bubble over there and you don't really know what's going on in the real world. No. Tomorrow night we will have the Worcesterburg Ruritan Club on site for their monthly meeting, where their board will meet there, and they'll have dinner, and so we'll have members of the community that are there being a part of the Ranch Hope community. A number of years ago, a really good friend of mine and a friend to South Jersey and Cumberland County for sure, Bob Woodruff from Woodruff Energy.
My God, what wonderful people.
Bob and I go way back, and Woodruff Energy has been just a tremendous support on a lot of ways and levels with Ranch Hope. But we thought about, well, how do we impact young baseball players in South Jersey? And so Bob and I collaborated on creating an indoor hitting facility and baseball facility.
I have to get Jeff Trout to come over and be an instructor for you.
Hey, Anytime. Mike can come over whenever he wants. But really excited that last year's Woodstown High School state championship baseball team, every member of that starting lineup had worked out on the campus of Rancho and hit and pitched and fielded and working out with instruction at the Woodruff Energy Center located at Rancho. So a lot of different impacts, not just in the mental health field, but how can we best impact the young lives of children and families here in South Jersey.
Do you have any one in particular that's had a great success story that you're proud of? That, I mean, I'm sure you're proud of a lot of them, but is there a Mike Trout that comes out of the picture for you guys over all the years, I guess?
Yes, we have a young man, and he doesn't know I'm on here today, so I don't know if he'd be okay with me naming him, but we have a young man who, it's a really cool story, came to us from Gloucester County, and being raised by his mom, and loved to smoke cigarettes, Jim.
Oh, that's not a good thing.
Not a good thing, but a positive came out of that.
Really?
We had the director of our food service at the time was an old Navy man, and great cook, but also liked to smoke cigarettes.
I'm sure, yeah.
And so this young man is perceptive, and this isn't our normal model and doesn't necessarily fit all the requirements. But he saw that Mr. White liked to smoke cigarettes. So he said, I'm going to befriend that guy, and maybe I'll get a cigarette off of him.
Right.
So he started to work in the cafeteria, and he quickly learns that he likes to cook.
Oh, that's super.
And he loves the food service industry, and likes the fact that people love the food that he prepares. And so from there, he leaves the ranch, doesn't stop smoking, but leaves the ranch and goes to culinary school, and we help him
with
that process. Goes to school in Philadelphia. He, for those of you that travel to Naples, Florida, you may be familiar with just a tremendous store down there and a retail called Seed to Table. Seed to Table is just a very unique place to shop. It's a grocery store that has 5-star restaurants in it.
Wow.
He became the head chef of and had a team of over 100 chefs and food preparers at Seed to Table. I went down and visited him last spring and got a full tour of a multimillionaire. Maybe you know the gentleman. He's originally from southern Delaware who owns Seed to Table. Look it up. If you're down there, visit it. It is fantastic. He recently left Seed to Table, and he's now the head chef for the Hertz Entertainment facility down in Naples. They have he prepares all the food for the hockey. They have a minor league hockey program there. They have all kinds of different events there at the Hertz Center. But it's a huge center down there, and he's the head of the food service down there, and so that would be one of our pride and joy. He's doing just a tremendous job there.
Well, you know, it's funny too. I taught school, and I loved the kids. And in fact, it's funny. Had I been Protestant, I probably would have been a minister. But I was Catholic, and I didn't want to not get married. So anyway. But I was teaching, and I used to say to the kids, and I still say this to anyone that would listen. And I know you have certainly said this to many people too. You got to do what you love. You know, you and your dad do what you love. Your dad is special at what he's done all these years. But I just, would tell the students, if you're a good mechanic, be the best. If you're a plumber or a chef, whatever, just put pride into what you do. And you have to work anyway. So if you love what you do, it's not work. It's like, I'm sure you probably don't feel this way either. I love what I do. You love what you do. It's not like, oh my God, I got to go to work today.
Absolutely.
So.
And that's a good segue into what I'd like to mention next.
Sure.
We need you to join our team. We have a great culture. We have a great salary structure. We've got great benefits, but we need people to join us. So we're really struggling with hiring people and recruiting people to join us in the vineyard, in the wheat field of ministry that is Ranch Hope. And so we're actually not able to serve as many kids right now because we need people to join us in the area of staff. So maybe you're a teacher and you're looking, you've had a great career and you're looking to step back and join another team, and you've got your retirement program in play with the state of New Jersey, which is fantastic, but you're looking to continue to teach. Or maybe you're on the front end. and you're just starting your career and you're looking for an opportunity, or you're in the area and you're interested in getting involved with social service and want to maybe become a therapist down the road, or get involved with counseling. We're hiring right now. We start anywhere from $18 to $21 an hour for if you have a college degree, or if you don't have a college degree but you have experience with working with kids. We would love for you to join our team at Ranch Hope. But you're exactly right. And what a great testimony. There's no better way to share your testimony with somebody but then from your career as well. And bring the energy and that we need each and every day. And one of the really the other great things about Ranch Hope is that community aspect. I love the people that I work with.
Isn't that wonderful?
And so it's great. It's great to be with them every day, and it's great to hang out and have fun and also make a difference in the lives of some special kids and families.
Boy, it is interesting. 2 years I taught special education. Of course, then I became a speech therapist. I mentioned that in Upper Pittsgrove and Alloway. And it was just wonderful to meet all the kids, the parents, the faculty, and all that. What happened back in the 70s, the state mandated each school district have a speech therapist, and there weren't a lot of us out there. So I was working one day in Alloway, one day in Upper Pittsgrove, one day in Woodbine, one day in Morris River, one day in Lawrence Township. It was a good thing I didn't confuse my days.
Yes,
I'd be going the wrong place. But I loved it because I was able to deal with so many kids and so many people and faculties and all that kind of stuff, and principals. I met an awful lot of good. I was trying to think of the principal at Alloway. What a nice guy, but that's been so long ago, I forget. If I heard his name.
Mr. Walsh?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, that would have been.
I would have been there in the 70s, so you weren't even born then, so you know.
I was born then.
But just, again, how I had self-contained special ed classes, and these kids were special. They really were. They had learning disabilities, and they were like socially maladjusted and those type of things. But today, many of them are friends, and I still value that commitment, and I know they do too, of how I worked with them and gave them the encouragement. And what you guys are doing is so fabulous. I mean, everybody needs a helping hand from time to time, and it's great that you're able to do this for all these years. Wow.
Well, in today's terms, we talk about trauma, right? And all of us have experienced it.
Yeah.
Every single person has experienced, maybe lost a family member, or a family member has lost their employment, or whatever. There's a wide scale of different trauma. We also refer to it as ACEs, adverse childhood experiences. We've all had them, different situations that had happened. A simple experiment is, my wife is always jittery in the car, because she was involved in an accident as a kid, and that trauma stays with her. And so I'm always have to be very patient when I'm driving. It's not necessarily backseat driving, Jim, although sometimes I wonder. But it's just this that she carries with us. Maybe you lost someone that was really played an important part in your life, or a sibling. And so the kids that we work with have multiple adverse childhood experiences. And so trying to work through that and trying to give them the tools in their tool belt to be able to deal with those situations is what's important. And so it takes, we throw this around all the time, and certainly when Hillary Clinton threw it around, it takes a village. But it does. It really takes all the different people, your coaches, your teachers. I can name every single teacher I had in the Alloway Township School District.
Wow.
From first grade through 8th grade.
And you didn't need speech, so you didn't have me. That's for sure.
And I didn't need speech at the time, but I certainly needed other people that stood in the gap for me. And then I can remember when I had my first male teacher in 6th grade, and the impact of now having a male mentor teaching you along those lines. And we all see that. And we can all, many times, and I know we want to talk about leadership at some point in time, but many times you can really, it's that journey that we've all had. What is that journey that you've had from early in your life through different experiences you've had, good, bad, successes, failures. We learn from so many of our failures, and I can give you a boatload of the failures and the poor decisions I've made in my leadership time as well. But it's all part of that journey.
It's interesting. I did a show a few months ago or so of the people letting me know who their favorite teacher was. And I went to Catholic school in Millville, St. Mary's, and I had the nuns, and a lot of people, well, I'll tell you what, those women were fabulous.
Absolutely.
I know I am what I am because of them and because of their love and their guidance for me. I had some great teachers at Millville High School as well. but that's your, especially when you're 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, that's your formative years, and they were there, and they were supportive of me, and I loved each one of them and what they were able to do, and they didn't do it for anything other than for the love of Jesus and the love of helping the kids.
Yes.
We come back, though, we're going to talk a little bit about this guy and what's coming up possibly for Dave Baily Jr. right after these messages.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
In Cumberland County, let's recycle right. We recycle cardboard, paper, aluminum, tin, and plastics number 1 and 2. Look for the 3-arrow triangle usually on the bottom of the plastic container. The number in the center determines the plastic number. Remember to recycle only number 1 and 2 plastics. Plastic bags, plastic film, hoses, and wires are not recyclable. They can damage sorting equipment and create hazardous working conditions. Don't trash our future. Do the right thing. Remember, reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Complete Care has some big news to share with you,
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day.
including our newest locations on Pearl Street in Bridgeton and High Street in Millville.
We're here with convenient, high quality, and accessible healthcare services all under one roof.
We're here just a call or email away.
We're here to provide compassionate care for you and your family.
We're here and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network, ready when you are.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
In South Jersey, we do things our own way. We say things out loud, face things head on, and never back down. And that's how we fight cancer. With the most advanced diagnostics, leading-edge technology, and a team of doctors who know how to treat your cancer. And most importantly, we do it right here at the Frank and Edith Scarpa Cancer Center, Vineland, and the Leading Edge Cancer Center, Mullica Hill.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. Probably one of the luckiest men I know is sitting here to my right, because his dad and his mom are very, very special. His dad is like the rock star of Delaware Valley, starting Rancho for Boys, phenomenal giver of messages. I mean, I love listening to your dad every day on the radio and all that kind of stuff. But you got a little bit of that rubbed off on you too here, pal. And tell everybody what you're going to be doing. This is exciting.
Well, Jim, I'm very humbled to say this, and honored that I've been asked and have agreed to run for state assembly. Politics has never really been a part of the Baileys as far as us directly. We've always tried to stay Switzerland,
yes,
and not and because once you choose, then you've chosen, and people will decide maybe this way or that way about you. I'm hopeful that my background, my leadership, the impact that I've had on the community, the relationships that I've built, and the relationship and our family name will stand for something and show people the kind of leader that I hope to be now that I've been a leader for 17 years as the executive director and CEO of Ranch Hope, and my 30 years of service at Ranch Hope, to now expanding that role into running for state government.
That's fantastic. And you're running with one of the best guys in the world. John Berzicelli is just super person. I just really enjoy the times I've had him on, what he's done in the state legislature. But in all honesty, you had that red wave that wiped Sweeney out, Berzicelli out, and the other fellow that was
Adam Talaferro.
Thank you, Adam Talaferro was with them, and they had great people, but they got wiped out with the red wave, and that's what happens. I mean, it's timing. I remember in 1985, I survived the Tom Kane landslide. Ed Salmon and I were the only two freeholders in the state of New Jersey that were Democrats who survived the Tom Kane landslide. And a friend of mine who took care of the voting things and all in Cumberland County said to me, Jim, you'll never lose. Hey, guess what? 6 years later, I lost on the Jim Florio backlash, so I was out. So you just never know, and it's timing and the value. But certainly, and besides John, you have Heather
Simmons, county commissioner, the longest-running female county commissioner. She's actually the deputy director in Gloucester County.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah. So, and let me say this too. You can tell everybody what the 3rd district comprised, besides Gloucester, Salem, and
So the 3rd district is most of the river communities in Gloucester County, from National Park on down. All of Salem County.
I did speech there at Paulsboro, too.
Paulsboro, of course, of course. So all of Salem County, where I was born and raised and still reside today and raise my family. And then several communities, Upper Deerfield,
Hopewell.
and Hopewell
yes,
in Cumberland County. So not a lot of reach into Cumberland County, but some important areas of Cumberland County, certainly. It's interesting that you bring our good friend John Berticelli up. So in my role with Ranch Hope and then as an advocate for children, youth, and families from throughout New Jersey, I've always been chosen for or had the opportunity to serve on various boards throughout the state. And I always found myself, Jim, on the government relations and advocacy committee.
That's a great place for you.
I currently still chair the New Jersey Alliance for Children, Youth, and Families Government Relations Committee. So I've spent a lot of time in the State House.
That's good.
I spent a lot of time advocating for and collaborating with people in bureaucratic positions, the Commissioner of the Department of Children and Families and Health and Human Services and other various components, getting involved with agriculture and transportation and the DEP. I've had a wide variety of experiences within those departments, both advocating, sometimes very positive conversations, sometimes some very difficult conversations. And I always appreciated the fact that Steve Sweeney, John Berticelli, and Adam Talaferro, and Celeste Riley, and going back to Doug Fisher, were always in our corner and supportive of the 3rd District, and specifically in my sector, Ranch Hope and the special children and families that we support and that we provide services to. And so I got a real taste, and they were very open and allowed me to come to meetings and allowed me to sit at their feet at times, to never with this thought down the road years later that this would play a role in this. So I've always felt like I've been prepared for. And then in a way, and a lot of different experiences has been prepping me for this role. Dad and I have had a lot of very difficult conversations about heading in this direction. But I really feel like that such a time as this, that God has said, Dave, I want you to take this. I'm not saying that He's ordained it yet, so I want to be very careful when we use those take a theological terms in this area. But have felt led that we need someone that has some inside information, that has played a role in these various positions, not only as a leader in leading a company. Many of you probably don't realize that Ranch Hope has over 200 employees.
Wow!
So I've been an employer in that area. So I understand health insurance. I understand liability insurance. I understand workers' compensation issues.
Wow!
I understand labor law and things along those lines, and making difficult decisions. Really exciting for when I know one of our employees are saying, "Hey Dave, I just bought my first car," or "Hey Dave, our family just bought our first house."
Wow,
that's thrilling type of experiences that we've had, not only in providing services in the behavioral health care format, but also being an employer and understanding that role in our community, and that role in what it takes in providing a great living wage for people, great benefits for people. Understanding that there are some people that have to work 2 jobs, and making things that $18 an hour is great, but when you have to provide childcare and other areas for your life, it's important. So I think I come into this with my eyes wide open. I think I come into this with a passion for our community and for the folks that live in the 3rd District. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to bring that passion into a new arena.
Yeah, and I can see with all the background and all the knowledge you have and things like that, what a great assemblyman you can be for the 3rd Legislative District. And, that's exciting. It really is. I was so happy when I heard that. It's like, wow, and, explaining your background and all the knowledge you have. And it goes along with, the gift that God gave you to help people. And that's what I was telling Dave. We were talking during the commercial break, that being Catholic, I thought I wanted to be a deacon. And late in 1997, I was trying to make a choice between becoming a deacon in a Catholic church. But the thing I always wanted to do was be the mayor of Millville. So I opted, saying, I can help people probably just as well being the mayor of Millville than I can as being a deacon. And that's what I decided to do. And I had a super 12-year run, and I loved every minute of it. And I feel I was able to help people that way. And Dave, with all your background, wow, you can help lots and lots of people, and a bigger district. You have the 3rd Legislative District. I wanted to run for state assembly, but my good friend Jeff Andrew would never let me run. He kept saying, "You raise taxes." I said, "Well, yeah, I was in local government," but I know what he wanted. What it worked out, but anyway, I never got the chance to run for the assembly, which I would have liked to have been able to do. But I'm happy that you're going to have that opportunity. And boy, what a good team with Heather and John. That'll be a super team to work.
And that was what was most important to me, Jim. I have to say that when it begins with conversations, right? And you're never quite sure what the end, because you're part of a greater team.
Yeah.
And will I be a good fit? Again, I'm humbled. I'm honored to even be considered for this role. And of course, the people will decide. We have a primary coming up next week, and so even within the Democratic Party, we are being primaried.
Oh, were you?
With the three other talented folks that will decide.
Oh.
We believe that we bring a greater amount of leadership and experience to the table with our. But I said to John, I was really excited. If John Berticelli wasn't the leader and the captain of this team, then I would have had a different decision on this. And then to meet Heather Simmons and the 12 years of experience she comes at the commission level, freeholder level, then commissioner level, just a talented lady and level-headed. Just comes with a great amount of experience working with Rowan University. She had her own consulting firm.
Wow.
She just comes with a wide variety of experience and leadership skills that she comes to the table with. And so the most important thing is we are a team. When you talk to one of us, you talk to all three of us, and we're on the same page. We're lockstep in how we're dealing with things. We meet, we talk multiple times a day through text or phone call. Every Wednesday morning we're meeting and going over our game plan of, so number one, we've got to win this primary that's coming up. So if you haven't voted by mail yet, I ask that you strongly consider backing our ticket when you go either early vote this weekend or next Tuesday on the 6th. When you go into that voting booth, and that you consider the ticket of Berticelli, Simmons, and Baily.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know Simmons, but I know John, and my gosh, folks, honestly, one of the greatest elected officials I've known. The knowledge he brings, the background, he was mayor of Paulsboro. He is just a fabulous assemblyman. Every time we would talk about things, he thinks outside the box. He was talking about liquor licenses and which makes sense, the way he was trying to bring this forward and all those things. And what a wonderful man. I just think the world of him. In fact, you got to tell him to call me so I can get him on TV, because he truly is. What a blessing you've got with he and Heather and yourself. I mean, and the Baileys, let's face it, who doesn't love Dave Baily, senior and junior? Everybody's, you guys are like rock stars to me. Speaking of that, I know you said Billy Joel. He was one of your favorite.
Yes.
I got a funny story to tell you about Billy Joel. My wife and a friend of mine and his wife, the four of us went to see a Billy Joel concert at the Spectrum or whatever it was then, Wells Fargo Center. And my friend got the tickets somewhere in Delaware or whatever. They're worst tickets in the house, 2 rows from the back of the stadium. Well, I'm talking to the lady, it was the ticket seat attendant, And she said, she comes up to me and she says, "Come here, give me your 4 tickets, follow me." I said, okay. So the 4 of us gave her our tickets. We went down and we sat in row 2 in front of Billy Joel right at the stage. What Billy Joel does this. He tells them, go find people with really bad seats and give them these tickets. And that was a great night. And I know my wife and my friend's wife, they were thrilled. They were right up there. You could almost touch them. So
yeah, Julie and I had the one opportunity. We actually sat behind the stage.
Wow.
And that was an interesting perspective.
Yeah, I bet.
But it was still great. It was still a great night. But again, getting back to John, you've got somebody that was the chair of budgeting, chair of appropriations, no greater leader that the state has seen and has seen it all.
Yeah.
So what absolutely a great leader. And Heather, with her experience, running a diverse community like Gloucester County, with all the different situations that they have to deal with, and the tremendous growth that they've seen, the port there in Paulsboro and the various things.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And let's be real about this. We're in a very important time in our state's history. The next 2 years are going to be very, very important when we look at budgeting and funding and things along those lines. We've got the wind port coming to our region.
Yes.
No better time for Salem County to have. We need people that are part of the decision making. And the fact of the matter is, this is a Democratic-run legislature and Senate.
That's a good point.
And so, no matter what you think, when we have strong leadership and strong candidates that are there available to us, that will also be a part of the decision making and a part of the process. It really comes down to an easy decision as far as I see it. But we're just asking you to think that through when you're thinking about what's best for the 3rd District.
Well, I certainly wish you well, Dave. It's great to have you on. Please tell Dad I said hello.
Absolutely.
Got to get him on sometime. And, just unbelievable. Like, he truly is like the rock star of the...
And he has the hair for it.
Yeah, he does.
He has the hair for it still,
It's amazing. I just say, wow.
Sorry, George.
But Dave is an amazing, Dave Sr. and Jr., and it's just wonderful what they've done for all of these years to help the young boys in our area and help them go straight and do the things they need to do. Just a wonderful, wonderful organization. Dave, thank you so much.
Honored.
Keep up the good work.
Appreciate your friendship.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. Dave Baily Jr., who is going to be running for the state assembly. And, of course, that Dave brought up a good point, too. You can vote early. I'm probably going to vote Sunday or Monday. Tuesday is the primary election, but last year I voted Sunday, and you do have early voting, so if you want to do that, so you don't have to worry about forgetting Tuesday, to get there. But please, however you're going to vote, please get out and vote. That's what's most important. For Dave Baily Jr., I'm Jim Quinn, and for our producer, George Kachia, we thank you so much for joining us here on Around South Jersey. Have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.